Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We're looking at Apple, the king of kings, the company of companies, the crown of crowns. These, if you believe in Game of Thrones, is probably the person who sits upon that sword thing. I never watched the show. But when we look at what we see today, we see that Apple's at $195 and it did it on, apparently there was some big announcement around like, I don't know, AI or some BS. It doesn't really matter to me. The company looks like it's essentially impenetrable from the way that the chart is acting right now. If there is a bull market or if there is a bear market, you're going to have to see it in the largest company in the world because everyone owns this thing. And right now, from what I can tell, there's a bull market, boys and girls. Bull market is on. Put your money in the market. Now we look, we can see that the volatility is essentially falling. That's why the price isn't moving. We've had a volatility falling since the 12th of July. The price has been rising though, because that means that the correlation is probably -2 to the volatility falling, which is sick to see. Now we do have a 1 day, 5 day, 15 day, 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month positive return. I mean, 6 months, this thing is up at 37%. That's nuts, especially with the size. It does look like from a trend indicator, we are going to be bullish. We'll be bullish short term, bearish intermediate term, and bullish longer term. We've been bullish long term. Well, I was looking at it from the 2 times. It looks like the 31st of May at 177. That's been a good trade. When we look at the overall sentiment right now, we do see that we still have a falling bear, which is actually very positive. What I like to see is that the green line, the green bar here, which is the bullish percent, is actually below the 15-day moving average, which means that we are definitely setting up for possibly another higher move. Kind of fantastic to see. That is the weekly. Wow. Super impressive what Apple does, especially every single day on the market at that size. The daily sentiment indicator, it is getting closer to 50%, which is great to see. It's at 53%. We still expect it to be generally bullish based on the trend, but the sentiment resetting around 50%, like it did back here in May and April, means that you get an opportunity for an actual bull run. That's what we want to see. The volatility in the volume is definitely dropping because the volume is dropping. So that's nothing there. The volatility is dropping here. You see the price correlation, just like I mentioned, is probably going negative. It's falling negative while the volatility. So you just expect it to just keep kind of grinding higher. I mean, that chart, boys and girls, have you seen anything even more beautiful? This is a textbook chart. This is the type of chart that they put in the technician books back in the 1920s because they were like, look at here. See, the stock just goes up and to the right. You just pay attention to price or fractals or whatever those Gann charts were. I have a terrible 1920s accent, but you get the idea because Apple right now is really showing you that you don't have to have the wild swings of Tesla, no disrespect. You don't have to have the wild swings of like even an AMD or an Nvidia or what other, Google, Microsoft, anything. You can just be slow, steady, and up and to the right and just pay dividends. And everybody will love you forever. This is just automatic investing at this point. What this honestly looks like is probably more the liquidity of 401ks because everybody's going to target date funds into like a 2050, 2070, and they probably all have to own a certain percentage of Apple or like SPY ETFs is really what you're seeing here. I don't even think this is market fundamentals. This is just automatic. People are buying Apple and it just keeps grinding higher. And until that changes, the market really can't drift anywhere else. I mean, when we look at the ultra fast sentiment indicator, the price has been rising higher and the sentiment's kind of fallen a little bit, which is great to see. Again, that is the setup for a nice bull run in the future. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. If you aren't, why not? We send you 25 stocks breaking out every single week free to your inbox. Just go to bootlegmacro.beehive.com/subscribe and get yourself on the list. Let's go.